It's the Premier League wrap-up show, and these fixtures were played on the 6th and the 7th of April. Okay, let's look at Saturday's fixtures. First of the two derbies kicked off the weekend action, and we were at Goodison's Park. Now, Klopp decided to rest Salah for the Tuesday game against Man City, and Oxlade-Chamberlain and Firmino were on the bench with Alexander-Arnold. The first 20 minutes and Liverpool were controlling the game without much threat, and Everton were a bit hit and miss, lots of huff and puff, but they had the first serious chance. Bolassi's shot turned over by Cadiz. Then Pickford turned away a Milner curler, and after that the game limped to the break. Went into the second half, and the first action saw Rooney fuming at Allardyce as he was substituted. The Ox and Firmino were given a training session for 15 minutes, and the last period saw a flurry of activity from the Toffees. Tosan put an effort wide, and then Calvert-Lewin, on as a sub, did the same. The game ended goalless. Guess both coaches probably happy with that. Okay, let's move to the Etihad now, with City looking to clinch the title by defeating Mourinho's United. Well, City started in a hurry, although De Bruyne, Jesus and Aguero were all on the bench. The first half was a City masterclass as Silva delivered the magic, and a bullet headed from a corner by Kompany, and they were 1-up. And then a neat swivel by Gundogan gave them a 2-goal lead. It should and could have been more, Sterling being the culprit, missing 2 great chances. So United left the pitch at half-time looking a bit bedraggled, but whatever Mourinho said at half-time needs to be bottled and sold, because the transformation was amazing, and it was an inspired Pogba who started the comeback with great anticipation from Herrera's clever-chested pass to slot the ball past Edison. A little later, not much later, a magnificent lofted cross pass chip from Sanchez was anticipated by Pogba, and he guided the header wide of the keeper. Amazingly, a few minutes later, and Smalling out-muscled Kompany and headed in the third. He booted in the third. And amazingly, United had turned the game round with 3 goals in less than 20 minutes. Well, from there on, City had the possession and went in search of the equaliser, but it wasn't to be. They had a strong shout for a penalty when Young put his studs on Aguero's ankle, but it was amazingly waved away. And De Gea produced an astonishing save to deny City. So, title celebrations on hold for at least another week. What are the rest of the Saturday's matches? Well, Spurs went to Stoke, having scored an average of 4 in their last 3 visits. Well, the score was closer, but they still won 2-1. First from an Eriksen strike, and the second from the slightest of touches from Kane. Joyce scored Stoke's goal, but the result is bad news for Lambert. Crystal Palace travelled to Bournemouth, having a clear memory of the match at Selhurst Park, which they should have won, but for Benteke usurping the usual penalty taker Milojevic. Defoe was in for the Cherries, his first start since December, and Loftus-Cheek was in for the injured Benteke. It was an entertaining game on the eye, and the Serb opened the scoring with a curved free kick just after the interval. The Cherries responded well, and Hennessy made 2 smart saves, but he couldn't do anything about Mousset's equaliser on 68. Sahar, what a talented footballer he is. Once again standing out for Palace as the main threat and showed great skill to score on 76 minutes. And Palace were back in front. But inevitably, those cherries, the comeback kings, they returned to parity when King, on 89 minutes, got the equaliser. Well, Hodgson had to reflect on another 2 points missed. To the King Power Stadium, and Newcastle were in town, and they continued their recent good form, beating Leicester 2-1. Goals from Shelvey and Perez. The Foxes got a late consolation from Vardy. Burnley, well, they've been consistently good all season, and they took the points at Vicarage Road, beating Watford 2-1 after coming from behind to a Paltada goal. They scored from Vokes and Cork. The winner, a very scruffy effort in the 6-yard box. But nevertheless, another Burnley win for Dyche. Brighton and Huddersfield shared the spoils at the Annex, 1 apiece, and the same score was seen at the Hawthorns between Albion and Swansea. Neither game was particularly memorable. So that's your Saturday action. I'll be back with part 2 to look at the games on Sunday.